Oh, hi everyone. You've caught me going through my 2021 purchases that I haven't quite gotten around to playing yet. So we've got Far Cry 6, a game which should, for all intents and purposes, take me anywhere up to 60 hours to complete. We'll see how that goes. Nier Replicant, it's kind of, a game you have to complete multiple times, at least 3 or 4, so I'm told. And then you've got Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which also came out in 2021 and technically features 3 games in one. Just where can people find the time? Does anybody finish games nowadays? Anyway, all this is to say is that 2021 was a pretty good year to be a PlayStation gamer, all things considered. But thus, it is time now to look ahead, off into the distance that is 2022, gazing our eyes forward to all the games that I will inevitably just not have the time to play. Hi guys, it's Aaron from PushSquare here. The following is a list of 28 PlayStation 5/PlayStation 4 games, all set and expected to release sometime on PlayStation in 2022. Now, inevitably, a couple of these might get delayed into the following year, similar to what Horizon and God of War Ragnarok were guilty of this past year, but there's still lots to look forward to. And I hope you'll find a couple of treats you're looking forward to most in the following list of 28 games coming in 2022. So, without further delay, let's take a big dive on in. Rainbow Six Siege is still ridiculously popular, so it's no surprise Ubisoft wants to expand on that tactical universe with another revenue stream, this time with Aliens. This effort is more of a PvE thing as opposed to PvP, obviously, tasking squads with eliminating hordes and hordes of otherworldly threats. Will it be any good? Well, the jury's still out, but it's the only real noteworthy game out in January in 2022, hence why it makes this list. It's been a long time coming, but Dying Light 2 is finally just around the corner. Will it live up to that initial pitch made all those years ago? Who ruddy knows at this point? But if the combat and parkour are just as good as the first one, then this sequel will at least be pretty good. Match them with an interesting story, open world, side quests, and Rosario Dawson, and Dying Light 2 is going to be something special. Watch this space from February 4th. The Ollie Ollie games are unbelievably addictive skateboarding titles, but it's been a while since we last saw the series. Thankfully, developer Roll7 appears to be going all out for Ollie Ollie World, which builds upon the established twin-stick gameplay with additional wall rides, multi-route levels, and a vibrant new 3D look. If you're into arcadey experiences and chasing scores on leaderboards, then Ollie Ollie World should definitely be on your radar when it releases on February 8th. Sifu has always looked promising since it was announced. So much so that we can't wait to hop into this 3D beat 'em up. You play as a martial artist on a quest for vengeance, that old chestnut, which translates in-game to beating up a metric ton of thugs using swift kicks, punches, and all kinds of weapons. The catch is that you age every time you die, increasing your strength but decreasing your health each time. It sounds fascinating, but more importantly, Sifu looks great fun. We'll find out for sure on February 8th. Guerrilla Games took a chance with Horizon Zero Dawn in 2017, it being the studio's first open-world RPG ever after the Killzone series. Fortunately, it smashed it, and now sequel, Horizon Forbidden West, is shaping up to be a bigger and better game in almost every way. With the amazing combat, incredible robo-dino enemies, and Aloy herself now firmly established, Guerrilla is primed to knock this one out of the park when it launches as PlayStation's first big first-party game of the year on February 18th. Oh, Elden Ring. A proper open-world take on From Software's beloved Dark Souls formula? We doubt you could even imagine it. Yes, the game many have been waiting for is now right around the corner, just February 25th, and after a successful beta test, it's looking very promising indeed. If it can live up to, or even surpass its predecessors with a cohesive world, incredible bosses, and an engaging story, this could be an early Game of the Year contender for us here at PushSquare. Don't tell us you don't see it either. Find someone who looks at you like Kazunori Yamochi looks at high-performance sports cars, or really any car for that matter. Gran Turismo 7 is poised to pair the esports efforts of GT Sport with a traditional car collecting campaign that the series has been known for. In that sense, this could be very well the definitive entry in Polyphony Digital's long-running simulation series, and we don't have to wait much longer to see if that's true, thanks to its March 4th release date. What a weird game Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, yes, that's its real title, is shaping up to be. Let's be real for a second. The story seems utterly ridiculous, and the writing is going to be borderline criminal, but it could be bloody good fun, and surely that's where games matter most. Assuming the combat system holds up and the level design is engaging, we may have a surprise hit on our hands. A surprise hit that spawns an ungodly amount of internet memes. Chaos! What if Borderlands and Dungeons & Dragons were smushed together? That's essentially what we're getting with Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, a fantasy-themed spin on Gearbox's beloved shoot and loot formula. The titular character oversees a tabletop-inspired game of firing both bullets and magic, with jaunts across a top-down overworld filling in the gaps. It sounds like a strange mix, but it should be a treat for fans of co-op, hence why we're excited for the release of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands on March 25th. A girl from the real world finds herself transported to a grand fantasy landscape, and a talking bracelet affords her extraordinary powers. What? Oh, it's just Forspoken, an open-world action RPG from Square Enix. Running on the fancy Luminous engine, this one looks like an interesting fish-out-of-water tale, with kinetic traversal and flashy combat. It's coming to PlayStation 5 on May 24th. Deep Silver's decision to push the Saints Row reboot out of what is an incredibly busy February was undoubtedly the right call, especially since the game's announcement was met with such division. Hopefully, developer Volition now has enough time to deliver the kind of chaotic sandbox fun that the series is known for. August 23rd is when we'll find out for sure. Focus Entertainment has to be one of the most underrated publishers going at the moment. It consistently helps to put out quality, story-focused experiences, and A Plague Tale: Innocence is a perfect example of that. This sequel, then, could well do things even better. Even if it is more of the same, A Plague Tale: Requiem will be one to look out for throughout 2022. Announced at the 2021 Game Awards, Arc Raiders actually looks like a bit of a banger. It's a free-to-play shooter with a co-op focus, tasking you and your squad with surviving against robots dropped from orbit. In the brief gameplay that we've seen so far, everything appears to be fast-paced and very polished. Colour us intrigued. Let's be real here, this game is not coming out in 2022, but the last time Ubisoft spoke, it insisted that it will. We fully expect Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora to be vaporware, just like the actual films that are supposedly still being made, and so we'll be waiting a long while before we possibly see the potential of an Avatar game. But there is certainly promise to the concept, but we reckon the road to release will be just as long as this one's development cycle. In other words, incredibly long, but as for now, it's supposedly still releasing in 2022. Dakar is the world's most insane rally race, making it perfect for the video game treatment. Saber Interactive is bringing us its officially licensed take on the motorsport, featuring vehicles of all types, online multiplayer, and dozens of real-world stages to conquer. Dynamic weather and time of day will present all kinds of harsh conditions to consider too, and you'll need to keep your motor running as much as you need to stay in first place. Will it actually release in 2022? Probably not, but the return of Dead Space has us excited all the same. It's been far too long since Isaac Clarke graced our TV screens, bowing out with the unceremonious Dead Space 3. This remake of the original title brings back survival horror and the famous USG Ishimura. We're buying a boarding pass as soon as it's possible. Will it or won't it release? Final Fantasy XVI is one of the games we'd expected to learn more about in 2021, but it remained pretty undercover throughout the entire year. Hopefully, Square Enix has been making steady progress behind the scenes, because this distinctly more mature JRPG looks set to become one of the PlayStation 5's defining exclusive games. GHOSTWIRE Tokyo will probably be the last ever Bethesda game on PlayStation, and it looks like a suitably strange title to round out the publisher's output. Developed by Shinji Mikami's Tango Gameworks, this is a bizarre first-person combat actioner that's still largely shrouded in secrecy. It could go either way, this one, but it's always exciting to see something a little different come out from a major publisher, so for now, we're on board. God of War on PlayStation 4 redefined the series, giving Kratos more substance as a character and introducing him into the land of Norse myth. It's also one of the best games on the platform, full stop. Ragnarok is a direct sequel, upping the ante with more realms to explore, the promise of some epic boss fights, hello Thor, and dog sledding. Wolf sledding? Either way, this is no doubt top of the list for many PlayStation fans, and quite rightly so. Want some Batman Arkham-style gameplay with a twist? Gotham Knights takes that established superhero formula and spices things up with multiple playable characters, 2-player co-op, and a brand new threat to deal with. The mysterious Court of Owls is lurking in the shadows, controlling Gotham City's criminal underworld. Between Batgirl, Robin, Nightwing, and Red Hood, you'll need to track the organization down and avenge the death of Bruce Wayne. We've waited all of our adult lives for a proper, full-length Wizarding World campaign, so we can forgive Hogwarts Legacy for skipping 2021 entirely. We're hoping that this is a big year for the Harry Potter-themed open worlder, though will we finally get to wear the sorting hat for ourselves? The LEGO game series has been around for a long time now, but it all started with Star Wars. TT Games' latest returns to the sci-fi staple with LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, a huge game that incorporates the story from all 9 mainline movies into one singular experience. Freshly presented with varied gameplay, this will undoubtedly be the biggest and potentially the best LEGO game so far, should it finally release sometime in 2022. Sony's been pushing Little Devil Inside since the PlayStation 5 reveal, but it's still quite difficult to determine how the game actually plays. Even a dedicated gameplay trailer a few months back didn't really give us many answers, so we're hoping that all will be revealed sometime in 2022. It's always looked super interesting, but we're going to need a release date sooner rather than later. Excuse me, you've spilled some of your XCOM in my Marvel game. Yes, this is a real-time strategy game from developer Firaxis, only it happens to star some of the most famous superheroes currently out there. Alongside the Hunter, a new player-customized hero, the game sees you banding together with the likes of Wolverine, Iron Man, and Doctor Strange in order to stop baddies Hydra and Lilith. Between strategic bouts and managing the hub world known as the Abbey, this is a very interesting take on the comic book material. Announced alongside PlayStation 5, Stray has you playing as a cat in a seemingly dystopian city, and sorry, we should have probably stopped at just playing as a cat. Yes, you're a feline trying to get back to your family, along the way solving puzzles, evading threats, and clawing up furniture. A robot buddy is there to help you along the way, aiding you with the robotic inhabitants and strange enemies. It looks very different and very cool, hence why it's one worth keeping an eye on. Batman can't have all the fun now, can he? It's time for some baddies to get the limelight. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is the next game from Rocksteady, which is reason enough to be excited. With an open-world metropolis to explore, a series of iconic heroes to hunt down, and 4 unique playable characters, including Harley Quinn and King Shark, this looks like a chaotic and super fun PlayStation 5 title. Not since 2017 have we seen a substantial game based on Lord of the Rings. That's a crying shame, and developer Daedalic Entertainment agrees, hence why we're so excited for the launch of the Lord of the Rings Gollum later in 2022. It's an opportunity to get a feel for Middle-earth from the perspective of the tortured creature that is a former hobbit who has fallen under the influence of the One Ring. He's said to be skillful and cunning, which this story-driven action game hopes to depict accurately. Supermassive Games hasn't quite ever managed to reach the highs of Until Dawn with any of its Dark Pictures anthology games. That said, you can always count on them for a spooky ride each year around the time of October. so why should The Devil in Me be any different? This latest entry sees an unsuspecting documentary film crew receive an invite to the murder castle of America's first serial killer, H.H. Holmes, and we're sure that absolutely nothing will go wrong. So there you have it, guys, in terms of some of the biggest PlayStation releases set to arrive on PS4 and PS5 sometime in 2022. I think we can all agree there's lots to look forward to and indeed be excited about. But enough about me, I want to hear what you guys are excited about. And if you want to let me know what your most excited game is, be sure to let me know in the comments section below. And then, when you've done that, be sure to leave this video a like if you enjoyed it, and consider subscribing to the PushWire YouTube channel for everything else PlayStation related. Until next time, as ever, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.